I saw a Twitter discussion on, I think it was Princess Leia in the bikini, right? And it had something to do with standards of beauty, and somehow it got down to Jennifer Aniston living up to, someone said, she managed to live up to the unrealistic standards of beauty that we have in our culture. And somebody responded, and I don't think they were being sympathetic to Jennifer Aniston. I think it was kind of an attack, but what she was saying was no, she didn't live up to those standards of beauty. She set those standards of beauty. In other words, Jennifer Aniston is the problem for being a very attractive woman. Now, something a few minutes ago just reminded me of this discussion. And so I searched, show me pictures of Jennifer Aniston. Because I was just trying to wrap my head around this idea that she's setting the standards for beauty. I mean, obviously, she's a very, very attractive woman, particularly and especially for her age. And she's been, you might say, privileged in that she's in a position where she can get as much sleep as she wants. She can, if she wants to hire personal trainers, she can. She can purchase anything she needs in terms of beauty aids, in terms of even just getting somebody to help with makeup and all the superficial stuff. She can hire people, right? She's got what very, very, very few other people manage to have, and she, as a result, is a very attractive woman. I mean, she can spend the time educating herself on what it takes to become and stay beautiful. And I think, she obviously knows that she's beautiful, and it's something that she wants to keep. And I mean, you see people, Sally Field, I think I saw a picture of where she's obviously had a facelift. You see Joan Jett. Oh my God. You see Joan Jett at her age, and she smiles now, and the corners of her mouth go so far back because of her, her face being, a facelift, right, being pulled back. Oh my God, it just makes people look so horrible to have these things done. I think, on the other hand, they are trying desperately to save their beauty. They're trying to save the sexual market value that they once had when they were young and in their sexual prime, 20s, and kind of for women it starts to drain off at around age 30. Anyway, so I looked up this show me pictures of Jennifer Aniston search here and started scrolling through, and I hope, oh, that's a weird one. Is that even her? I don't know. And as I'm scrolling down, I hope I haven't gone past it. I don't think I have, because these all seem kind of familiar to me. Right there, this one shows up. And she's obviously much younger here, at least I think she is. Young enough that her face doesn't really match the face that she has now completely, and so it occurs to me, is this even Jennifer Aniston, right? Maybe if I turn this way, we'll see something different. Jennifer Android wallpaper. Oh, there's more. Some of these are definitely, yeah. So, yeah, I think this is Jennifer Aniston. But you look at this, and it suddenly occurred to me, out of the blue, something that I've never thought of before, and I realized that this thought is that I have never, ever, ever wanted to see Jennifer Aniston naked. It has never occurred to me. She's obviously one of the most beautiful women out there in the public domain, particularly and especially for her age, again. And yet, I've never looked at her with lust of any kind. It just seems so strange to me. Is she like, when people look at her, this is what I'm saying, I don't think that I am different in this regard. I don't think anybody wants to see her naked. I think that we see her as like a sister or something. And for me, at least, it's not because I've developed some sister-ish idea of her from watching that television show she was in called Friends, because I've never made it through an episode of that. I doubt I've made it 10 minutes through any episode of that. That show, I just couldn't. I don't get why people watched it. I didn't. And that doesn't mean that there's another show which is sort of based upon well, it's a British show, which is the kind of intellectual comedy, which I think Friends is supposed to be. It's one called Coupling. If you watch the British, I think there's an American version too, but it's I think I tried to watch that and I couldn't. But Coupling, the British version, I think is very comparable to Friends, and it is one of the best shows ever. It's probably my favorite comedy. But I never could watch Friends, and so it's my impression of her. And I can't think off the top of my head, I can't think of any movie that I've seen her in either. So for me, it's just about these, little tidbits that have come at me over the decade or or more, however long they've been doing that. That's my impression of Jennifer Aniston. It's not based on like anything that's built up in terms of personality from watching a movie or a television show that makes me think of her as like a sister. And I just wonder if I'm the same as everyone else. If everyone else looks at her and has absolutely no interest whatsoever in seeing her naked. Comments?